In this tutorial, you will learn the basics to get you started with Microsoft Word. Up here is called the title bar. So you will see it shows the program title, which you have here, and the document title. If you look further top left here, what you find is the quick access toolbar. So the quick access toolbar brings to your favorite commands and places them in the title bar. So if I need to click down here, which is called the quick access toolbar, you will see different commands and you can easily check which one you want to be in your the title bar in the quick access toolbar. So if I click on the quick print, you can see here it adds the print command or button to my title bar. So that's what happens. You can add your favorite command to this title bar, so it's easy for you to reach out whenever you want to work with them. So if I go towards the top right hand corner, you would see I have the minus symbol there that says minimize. So if I click minimize, it minimizes my document and then I can restore back. This is the restore button, and here the red box there or button allows you to close your document when you're done. Okay, here is the file tab. Here we have the home tab, the insert, the design, layout, references. All of these are tabs, and one thing I need you to understand is that each tabs, like here the default tab, each time you open your Microsoft Word, note that the default tab is usually the home tab. All right, so each of these tabs have different groups. Like here you can see the clipboard group, which starts from that point and stops here, and we have the font group, which starts from this vertical line here and stop at this vertical point. We have the paragraph group, we have the styles group from that point to this other point, and then we have the editing group. So each of these groups have their commands that are useful for you to manipulate or format your document. So all from this point, as my mouse hovers around through, is called the ribbon. For you to actually understand what the ribbon is, if I double click the home tab, everything that you can't see is called the ribbon, and what you see right here is actually the menu. So if you want to bring back your ribbon, you just double click and then you bring back your ribbon. And here right below or right under the ribbon, we have the ruler. You can see the ruler here at under the ribbon, and you can also find the ruler here at the left hand side of your document. And this window here is your text window. You can actually play around or type your document in this part. So let's get started. Okay, I need to talk about the taskbar. So below here is a taskbar. Below here is called the taskbar. If you look towards my the left hand side, here says page 1 of 1. It tells you what page, the current page you are at that particular time. You can see we only have one page, and then it tells us that we're at one page, page 1 of 1, and you can see 0 words. We have no text in this document, that's why it says 0 word. And then the language that we're using here is the English United Kingdom. And then if you scroll towards the right hand side below the window, you would find here the read mode. This makes reading comfortable. You can click on this part and you read your document very nicely. And here is the print layout. After working on your document, you print this aspect. It gives you the print layout, actually how it looks like. Here is the web layout. What the web layout does exactly is shows you how your document will look like if it's published in the internet. So at this point, which is called the zoom level. Where you have the 100% is called the zoom level. All right, so you can either increase the window size of your document. All this is based on your preference, but I actually love to work with the 100% so I can see my stuff, my work, and how it looks. All right, so let's get started. For me to input text, I will just go ahead and type in this document, these words here, grafted technology. All right, and then press the enter key to bring my cursor down to the next line. So I will key in this this word, this formula here that I just have. That formula there allows me to put in text. So press that formula, type in that formula and press the enter key. Now I have text. So with this text I can actually make my formatting so you see what it looks like working with MS Word document. So looking at this word, if I want to select this this document here, I want to assume that this grafted technology is the title or heading for this text here. So if I want to select, I just go ahead, hold down my mouse and then select through this document. You can see immediately I selected, I have a mini toolbar. You might just go straight and make it bold if you want to make it bold, or if you don't want to work with the mini toolbar, you might just go ahead and do the same thing at this point. They're all the same stuff. So this is where you change your your phrase or the word into bold. First and foremost, you need to select the document you want to format. Then the next thing at this point, where you have the U and a line under it, is called underline. If you want to underline this document, you want to underline this phrase, all you need to do is select and drag through that phrase, and then go ahead up here and click that underline. Let's assume you want to have a double underline. You can see this arrow here just beside the underline sign or symbol. That arrow there actually tells you there are more options that you can choose other than just one underline. You might want to do the double underline, or you want to put a tick underline and dotted underline. It all depends on what you actually want to do. Let's use a double underline. So just go ahead and click the double underline. So we now have a heading for our document. Now another way you can select, I've just talked about how you can click and then drag through so as to select a document. You can also just click, if you want to select this paragraph here, you can double click 3 times on the paragraph and it all gets selected. So you can see I double click 3 times and I have my document selected. Now if I want to select a different portion of this text, if I double click again 3 times or click 3 times, it gets selected. All right, it gets selected. But one thing you need to notice is why I clicked 3 times, I eventually deselected the first paragraph I previously selected. For you to be able to select different segments of this text, what you need to do is hold down your control key and then select. All right, now you can see I have successfully selected different aspects of this document. This is called non-continuous text areas. Selecting non-continuous text areas. If I want to select any other portion in this document, I press down the control key and now go ahead and select any area I wish to select and it remains. Don't forget, it's called non-continuous text areas. I can choose to select any area or any word that I want to select, and it will all remain like this. Take note, if you do not press down the Control key before selecting, it will deselect every area you have already selected. Alright, let's say you want to select just a word. Now this word could be document. You just double click document and document is selected. If you want to select a line, just take your mouse across towards the left hand side. Once it changes to this arrow that you see, once it changes to it, now click once and you get that line selected. So these are different ways you can actually select line and perform your formatting. Alright, so let's get back to the heading of this document. I've already, it's in bold and double underline. I want to increase the font of this heading called Graphic Technology. For me to do that, I need to select, alright, or you point your mouse towards that area. When it changes to arrow, you just click once. Now I want to increase the size. What I need to do at this point, this is where you increase the font size. To increase font size at this point, you click this drop down arrow and choose any font type that you want. So from here you change the font type. So let's use this Bookman old style. So if I click on that, my font type changes. So at this top here, we can change the font size. So if I click this drop down arrow, I will see I can move around and choose the font size I actually want to use. So let's leave it at 24. So this is how you format your document. So in this font group, this place where you have this is called font color. So from the font color, if you click the drop down arrow, you can choose any color of your choice. Let's use that dark blue. Take notice that while you hover your mouse around these colors, it brings out the name of that particular color. So this is called green accent seeds darker 25%. So ensure that you know the name of the color you want to use. Do not just hover around and choose anyone. Just point and the name appears and you're sure that's what you want to use. Then you go ahead and click. Also take note that before I can apply any command to this text that is here, before I was able to apply command to this highlighted text, I selected it or I highlighted it before the command can take effect. All right, so let's go ahead to to the paragraph group now. So if we go to the paragraph group, you would notice that while this mouse is clicked at this point, you will notice that it's showing, this part is showing align left, and if I click here, this document is actually aligned left. So if you want to change the alignment of the body of this text, what you need to do, like I said earlier, you need to select the document before any command can be effective. Now I've selected the first paragraph, and the first paragraph here, the paragraph group, I want to align it to left. It's already by default left aligned. Alright, if I go to the second paragraph and I select it and I want to make it center aligned, what I need to do is select, go to the paragraph group. Alright, okay, paragraph group, and choose the center alignment. You can see center align, then click on that. You would see the difference between the first paragraph and the second paragraph. So this is left align and here is center align. You can see each one I click, it changes the alignment here in the paragraph group. So if I go to the third paragraph and I select the third paragraph, go to the paragraph group, and here is called the right alignment, align right. So if I click that, you will see this third paragraph already changes. So this is what it looks like, and that's up here is how you can actually change the alignment of your text. Okay, so the fourth paragraph, if I click on that fourth paragraph, select it, make sure you select, and you can justify that paragraph. So up there again, if I click that aspect, justify, you will see it actually looks different from the first, second, and the third paragraph. So you might want to justify or align your body text when you begin to create your Word document in any way or any of your choice, either the first paragraph, second, third, or the fourth paragraph. Now let's assume if you're a student or you work in an office or you're a teacher, you've created a document and you want to align the body text of your document to just one particular alignment. What you need to do is select the body text as it is. You do not need to touch the heading because you already formatted it. So select the body text, everything. Of course, you want your document to look nice, so you need to apply one alignment to all of the body text. So you select everything like I just did, go ahead and click a particular alignment that you want. Let's use the justify. So I clicked on the justify. You can see everything is looking nice and good. Okay, so let's say we want to add or insert a table in this document, and I want to insert a table immediately after this word. What I need to do is click and press the enter key. I want to have a table here. I want a 4-row and say 6 columns. What I need to do is now go to the insert tab over there. All right, and click on the insert tab here where you have the tables group. Click on that tables group, and we want to have, say, 3 rows, 3 columns, and 3 rows. So what you need to do is you start from here, 1, 2, 3. That's 3 columns, and we want to have 3 rows. So I count 1, 2, and 3. So now I have 3 rows and 3 columns. So I click. Now I've inserted a table. Okay, so I go back to my home tab. Let's say you have inserted some title here, and you typed in heading of your table, and you typed in some of those stuff. Okay, and you want to center align the heading in this table. What you need to do is you select all the first row, just like I have done. Select all of it. Now go to the paragraph group and choose the center align. Now you can see this heading in this document is looking nice and good because they are center aligned. Now you want to add a background color to the heading here, heading in this table. What you need to do is select the first row, which is the heading. Again, proceed to the paragraph group. You would see this, this button here. It says shading. That's where you can get, the background color. So you go and choose a background color of your choice, or whatever background color you've been. If you're a student, whatever background color you're working with, you work in an office, your team background color, so you use it. So let's say we want to make it a gray color. While it's still selected, we can then go ahead and format, increase the font size of that text, increase the font size to 16, bold it, and here we can add the italic. Let's add a line spacing to paragraph 1. If you want to add line spacing to paragraph 1, what you need to do again is select paragraph 1, like I just did. Go to the paragraph group. You'll see this button here, line and paragraph spacing. Click that arrow and choose the exact line spacing that you wish to. If it's 1.5, then you choose 1.5. If it's 2.0 line spacing, click to choose 2.0. But let's use 1.5 line spacing. Click on that. Take note that the first paragraph line spacing is now different from the second paragraph line spacing. This is just for you to know how you can format your document to actually look nice. If you like this line spacing, you know where exactly to get it from. Alright, so let's say, okay, before I proceed, something I didn't mention, you can see in the home tab there's this small arrow beside each of the group. Font group has a small arrow there, and the paragraph group has a small arrow, and this also has, the styles group has a small arrow. What that means or is called is dialog box launcher. Dialog box launcher, when you click at it, it displays more options related to that group. So everything here, not all the information here can actually fit into the commands that you see up here. So that's why it's hidden in the dialog box launcher. Alright, let's close it. So even if I go to the layout, you would find that it has dialog box launcher, except for the arrange group at least. But all of the groups, all the tabs has, not all the tabs actually, you can see here the insect doesn't have a dialog box launcher. Okay, so having said that, let's proceed and let's add a picture to this document. And here is where we want to add a picture. So just immediately below this line, new theme. So click at that line and press the enter key. Give a little space. We want to add a picture. For you to be able to add a picture or an object to your document, you need to click on the insert tab, which we have just done now. Now you can use objects, a table like we did here, but let's add a picture. You can also add a shape. You can choose any kind of shape that you want. Click on the document and drag through. You can get a picture. You can get a picture online by clicking at this place, and then let's say you've been given a particular picture, or you're a student, you've been given a logo to work with or a picture to work with, then you have to click the pictures. If you work in an office, you have a company logo or company picture or whatever it is, then you need to click on the pictures to insert. Alright, so let's click at that point, pictures. Alright, so I have my pictures opened up straight out, so I'll just click on this picture there and say insert. Now you can see I have this picture inserted. Now take note of one thing that happened. When you insert an object, immediately on top the menu tab, a new menu tab is added called the format. Here you can see the format tab. If I click by the side of this document here, look up here, there is no menu tab, there's no format tab either. But if I want to format this picture, I need to click on it to enable the format tab. So this format tab allows me to actually format my picture. Alright, so I can decide to format this picture. If I go to picture style over here, alright, the picture style allows me, if I click on the more arrow there, I can see different kinds of frame that I can use. Any kind of frame. Let's look for something that looks like 3D. Okay, that's a 3D bevel perspective. So if I click on that, I have, formatted this picture to that style or to that frame. Okay, so while this picture is still clicked, I can resize it. I can go ahead, click on this part and drag, hold through and drag to resize my picture. Another way you can resize your picture or an object in your document is clicking on that object or picture like I just did. Now hover your mouse up to the top right hand side where you have the size group. You can see it over here. You will see where we have this box where it says 7.4 centimeter. Click in there and type in, say, 5 centimeter. Now the 5 centimeter is the size you want to resize this object to. Here is 5 centimeter high, shape height, and here is the shape width. Let's say we just want to resize the shape height, so that 5 is okay, and press the enter. Ensure the centimeter is there, press the enter key. So you can see that we have exact shape in mind and we just typed it in. We have exact size in mind, which we just typed, and we have it, instead of just taking time to try to resize, which we might not get the exact size that we want to use. Okay, so we do have that picture there. The next thing I want to talk about is Format Painter. So let's scroll this up. Here is called the scroll bar. Let's scroll upwards, and the Format Painter actually allows you to copy the formatting of an item, alright, and copy it and place it the same formatting on another item. So if you look here, we have this formatting here, so I'll just select, alright, and then go to the clipboard, home tab, the clipboard group, and click on the Format Painter. Now I can place the same formatting on any word here that I wish. So I can just look for this document. If I click on that word document, it takes the same, it copies that formatting of the heading. So that's what Format Painter does. Thank you for being here. In previous we